during the pandemic, when football returned to stadiums and in the post-George Floyd world, as we know it, people were taking the knee and the crowds were booing them. And a lot of former footballers especially were, calling out this behaviour and condemning it without really thinking into why the people were booing. And not at any point did they realise that maybe they were booing because they know perhaps that they're all full of cack. And what do I mean by that? The clownery that you see, especially with sports stars in particular, of their double standards and the fact that they're completely transparent, so transparent that most people, even Joe and Jane Average, who love Love Island, can see that these people are completely full of poo. And why? How do they know they're full of poo? I mean, first of all, currently, you've got certain football pundits who were football players who have refused to call out Qatar and their treatment of migrant workers from Africa and Southwest Asia in particular, who are subjected to work in modern-day slavery conditions. It's modern-day slavery. It's all very well that they're championing, we should discuss slavery and our role in slavery and so forth. It's very well, but why is there an aversion to talking about slavery going on right now, whether it's Libya or Qatar, and forced servitude and all these terrible things that are going on? Why? Well, because they're not allowed to, and they do as they're told, and therefore it's shut up time, isn't it? If there ever was a time to stop listening to these people, when is it time? Now is the time. It's already been the time. How many times are you going to hear these people posturing at you, telling you, "Oh, we need to address the racism in football"? It's how about you address the slavery going on in Qatar? But they're not going to do that because they must protect their interests and the interests of other people. Standing up and saying you are stunning and brave and that you are fighting injustices, standing face to face with the racists, with the oppressors, standing them down, looking them down and staring them down and going, "Hey, no more, I'm here." Acting like you're putting yourself out on the line of fire for the greater good of humanity when you won't call out the people that you should be calling out because it's going to affect your money. There's no justification for that, apart from, you're all pretty well off. But you cannot take some sort of moral high ground when that's how you behave, and people are calling out for what you are. Ian Wright refused to call out Qatar. I think Raheem Sterling refused to call out Qatar. No one has said that they're going to boycott the World Cup. Why are they going to boycott the World Cup? They're not going to do that. All right. Which goes to show that maybe football is more important than the lives of enslaved workers in Qatar. Because, we want to win the World Cup, don't we? And we did pretty well in the last two tournaments. So, we can't risk that. Who'd want to risk that? You think any football player is going to take a moral stand and not go to Qatar and not fulfill their personal dreams? They don't care about, which is more important to them, their personal ambitions or the hopes and dreams of the British people. Their ambitions come above everybody else. Okay, the hopes and dreams of the British people is next, and the poor enslaved people of Qatar, they're pretty much underneath all of that, aren't they? All right, it is what it is. Okay, and there's just no reason to listen to these people anymore or to take them seriously until they do the right thing. Then don't listen to them. They're jokers. Look at LeBron James, the king clown of all, and his attitude towards the man that spoke out against what was going on in Hong Kong. Right? The millions and millions of dollars. We're not talking about having your livelihood snatched away from you, okay, when you're a multi-millionaire who probably has very good business advisors and has made great investments, plenty of, like, basketball players. Look at Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan. They're worth hundreds of millions because of their great business investments after playing basketball. You know, compare them to, like, football players from the UK. Like their investment strategies would probably be much better. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing brave about what they do. There's nothing that's taking a stand, and they are put up on this pedestal as if they're brave. LeBron James saying, "I'm taking a stand. I think Colin Kaepernick should take a knee. What you got to say about Hong Kong?" Well, nothing. That's going to affect my money. No, like, I've worked for the Chinese before. Me calling out the Chinese, right, working for a Chinese company, me calling them out for their behavior towards the Uyghurs and towards the Hong Kongers, all right, I don't have the money that these people have, and I still call them out. Do you understand what I'm saying? My risk is far greater than theirs. So what does that make me? Does that make me Mr. Super Stunning, Brave, Virtuous Man? No. No, it doesn't. But I've got more to lose, which makes me a morally superior person. I mean, doesn't it? I can safely stand here and say, I am better than you. I don't think I am. But in the grand scheme of things and with scope, yes, I am. You know, it's ridiculous. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? This is abhorrent. Everyone should be taking a knee until all the Americans have stopped being beaten by the police. All right. Well, you're going to boycott the World Cup about modern day slavery? No. What's slavery? I don't know what that means anymore. Really? We do see you and hear you, you know. This is what blows my mind, is that they'll stand there and say, well, I can't comment on what's going on in Qatar. I'm not very well informed. But apparently they're really well informed on the inner workings of the American justice system and police department. They're apparently really well informed about stuff that happened 400 years ago, but stuff that's going on right now in a country where they're going to travel to and get paid millions. Oh, they haven't got a clue what's going on there. I don't know enough about Qatar. I don't know enough about what's going on in Hong Kong to be talking about it. Really? You see, these people have sold their souls a long time ago. And when something's cool, something's trendy, and it's the cause, they're going to jump on, yeah, kick racism out of football. How about end slavery once and for good? We've done a pretty good job of it, something that went on for thousands of years. The Enlightenment came along, and we did a pretty good job of whooping its ass. But it's not gone. So, you know, we just need to nail in one final nail in the coffin, and it's done with. And you could be there with the hammer. But no, because you've got to be a pundit for the BBC and go, oh, that was a lovely corner he took. Great. You know, other lives of all these migrant workers who are forced into modern day slavery, are they worth so little compared to your job of talking about tactics, on your half-baked opinion on how a corner should be taken? All right? Yeah. LeBron James is millions and his mansions and his shoe line. Okay? And his overinflated wages, they are worth more than the freedoms of the people of Hong Kong. The freedoms and persecution that goes on with the Uyghurs. Oh, that sentence didn't quite make sense. You know, the freedom of the Uyghurs, stopping the persecution of people based on their faith. That isn't as important as LeBron James's jersey sales. Yeah. So I would say it's shut up time, isn't it? Isn't it really shut up time? Like, why would you listen to these people? I cannot take these people seriously. Next time they're on television talking about how we got to confront racism and take a knee, and telling you what you should be doing and how you should be thinking, turn the fucking television off or throw something at it. Like, just ignore these people. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, come on. Seriously? Someone's talking, what do you think about Qatar? Nothing comes out of their mouth. Not a thing. These people don't have morals, values. It's non-existent. It's all self-preservation. Now, hell, I'd be self-preserving too. All right? You know? Okay? So don't be sat there telling people how to be conducting themselves. Having stadium, they're calling for the banning Hungarian supporters because of their behaviour in the stadiums, and yet they won't call out the Qatari government for enslaving people that die on pissing heat job sites to build their silly stadiums so they can play their silly little game. Now, I love football, but let's put things into perspective. It's a bunch of men who are paid lots of money kicking a ball around. Right? And people are dying in the pissing heat to try and feed their families on less than peanuts to build the stadiums for them to kick their little balls around. And they don't even have the decency to address it. I'm sorry, but I'm never going to listen to you again, and neither should anybody. If you've got half a brain cell in your head, do the right thing and just say no. Okay? How about, instead of kicking racism out of football, which is so subjective, it's fucking incredibly impossible, how about we just kick the bullshit out of footballers and just all sports stars that are moralizing to us all? Okay? How about that? Okay? Boycott. Just boycott them. All right? And if you do ever mention anything about slavery or anything about racial injustice or oppression, then boycott the Qatar World Cup. All right? Boycott it as best you can. Boycott everything to do with Qatar. Put your money where your mouth is. That's all I'm saying. Me? I don't give a shit. 2 World Cups and 2 World Wars.